Hello, Aquarius. Thank you for tuning in to your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Okay. Feels a little sparky. That's interesting. Whoop. Okay. I say that the first card out, just to be fair, was the Tower card. So, there you go. Not really sure just yet where this is going. You have to have more control here. That's my first thing. You have to get more control of this situation. I'm seeing you as the dominant energy, and I'm seeing as when you take hold as the dominant energy, whoever you are, things can correct. The Tower is happening. Like, I feel like when this hits, this is talking about a Tower moment between you and your partner. And I'm getting a lot of resistance from your partner with the Nine of Wands. Like, this is hitting hard. This is the Tower moment. There's a lot of resistance to the point where they have the Ace of Pentacles where they're standing. Like, it's going to take a lot. Like, they're trying to hold on to something that already failed, is how it feels. The Ace of Pentacles, but you have the Tower. Like, you know this is destroyed. This has already fell. They're resisting that. It's almost like half the building is gone. And they're like, that's fine. We have a little more air circulating through, but it's fine. And you're like, are you nuts? Like, no. Like, this is not livable. Like, it's half the building is gone, which makes the structure weak, which means it can fall down. The rest of it can fall down at any time. You can't just live in the rest of it and act like it has extra ventilation. No. And they're like, no, it's good. It's fine. I'm sure we can work with it. It's okay. I'll fix it. I'll push it up a little bit. I'll put some boards on here. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. Extra ventilation. It's good. And you're like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's how this feels. They're literally trying to save a situation or act like a situation is still going. And you're like, half the building is gone. Like, what are you thinking? They're resisting. Very, very strongly resisting. Now, I see you coming forward with the Eight of Wands as well. Kind of like when this happens and half the building is gone, you're quickly trying to get them to get out of the building. Like, get out. Get out of there. It's not safe now. Get out of the building. Like, I feel like it's your energy. Like, out. Get out. It's not safe. Get out. Like, I care about you. I don't want you to get hurt. Get out of the building. They're like, nope, it's good. Extra ventilation. Extra ventilation. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm cool. I'm good. You're like, no, you're not. You're really not. This is how this energy is connecting. All right, so when we come into their challenge card, let's do both challenge cards because I think that's where we're going. Their challenge card is the Queen of Cups. Whatever it was that got destroyed, they very much love it. Whatever it was, it's hard for them. They don't want to believe it's over, but it's very much a delusional feeling for me. This is why it's the challenge card. They did love it. They still want to love it. They don't want to believe it's over. It is truly over. That's what you're working with. They truly loved it, and it's hard for them. And I feel like this is one of those things where you can't say, well, all right, you loved that, but you'll love this too. It's not working like that. It's almost like a beloved pet type love. You know what I mean? Once that pet is gone, the next pet, yeah, they might have another pet, but there'll be a different personality. There'll be different things with this new pet. It won't be the same pet. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. Your challenge card is the Two of Wands. Now, you're looking at this like a decision has to be made. And the way this feels to me, that seems rational. You also have your spiritual card of the Three of Pentacles. Like, we need to get out of the building, and then we need to decide how we're going to handle this. Do we need it knocked down? We need to keep people away from it. Like, it's a dangerous place now. Half the building is missing. Are we going to knock the rest down? Is there structural damage to the point where it's okay? We could have it rebuilt. You can't live in it till it's rebuilt, though. I'm giving that energy, though. But, like, what do we need to do? Like, you're like, we need to make a decision. We need to decide what to do. We need to start working on it now. That's your challenge card. That seems rational to me, though, but they're using that as the challenge, kind of like, I feel like what they're saying is like decisions don't have to come through forward that far just yet, but like everybody needs to be taken care of and everybody needs to be as safe as possible is what I'm getting. Whatever that means for your situation. You need to let the other person grieve it out. So, for example, if they're trying to live in half a building and it's dangerous, you're like, you got to get them out of the building is what I'm getting. That's not really not. You can't let somebody live in half a building that's falling apart. That's like, it's not. But it doesn't mean you have to make a decision right away on what happens to that building. So you just got to get them, you just have to get them out of the building and keep them from going back in it. That's your first goal. Once you get that taken care of, you need to let them have time to grieve it before you make the next step forward. And I'm seeing the Three of Swords with you is like, in all reality, when I'm connecting to this situation, it's very upsetting for you too. It is. But the reason you're trying to push forward so strongly is like you want to get it taken care of. Because you want to accept it and move on. You're just like, it happened. I don't want to linger on it. I don't want to wallow in it. I just want to fix it and move on. But you are upset about it very much too. It's not like your partner's the only one who's devastated by this or will be. You're also very heartbroken about it. Clearly, it's the Three of Swords. Now, I know in the beginning I said you have to be the one getting control of this, and that still holds true. But I feel like what they're saying is like you just got to do first things first, get them out of the building, whatever that is for you. And then you got to let you both grieve it out. Because as you grieve it out and you're upset about it, it wakes them up. It wakes them up. And I feel like they want to help you. They have the Page of Cups. And I feel like they're trying to appease you or make you feel like it's not really that bad. And you're pointing out why it is. They're like, no, we're going to be fine. We'll have it fixed in a couple months. It'll be okay. And you're like, half the building is missing. Like, and we don't even know what type of structural damage has been made. I think we're going to have to start all over. And they're like, no, I think this basement's okay. I can go down there and check. Don't go down there and check. I feel like you're snapping right in, like, don't go down there and check. Let professionals do it. This is the energy I'm feeling. Like, it's back and forth. It's kind of like you're kind of grieving it. They're giving you a little bit of stuff like, no, I don't think it's that bad. And you're like, it is. And then they're having ideas about what you can do. And you're like, listen, stay away from that building. We'll have somebody professional go check it. You mean a lot to me. I can't afford you getting hurt. It's bad enough we lost the building. And they're like, but we didn't lose the building. And it's like back and forth. Like, we did lose it. It is done. The tower hit. And I feel like they're trying to make you feel better. As they're trying to make you feel better, it's the Page of Cups because they're kind of coming to their own realization. The acceptance, as you keep explaining to them why you're so upset about it, they have to accept pieces of this, like what has actually happened and why it's not coming back. It's page energy, though. Like, they're slowly getting to it. It's slowly maturing. But as they're accepting it, they also have the Page of Wands in their spiritual spot. Like, they're understanding, like, the movements forward. And they're taking slow steps forward. It's almost like you're saying, no, I think the building is kaput. But they're agreeing that, let's have a professional assess it. They're getting that for her. And then when somebody comes to assess it and says, yeah, it's kaput, they're like, well, let's get a second opinion. I feel like that's where that's going. They're not letting go of this easily. They're not letting go of it easily. They're like, they won't. They just won't. They loved it. It's hard for them. They really don't want to let go. They don't want to believe that that's done. Now, what's making things better for you? I feel like you got to be careful here. Because the Will card, you got the Will card and you got the King of Wands. You'll notice this Will card is very peculiar. To me, it's peculiar, well, because there's a mask on that person, but they also have something hiding their face. They got that big poofy thing around their neck. Like, there's a bit of show here, a little bit of show, a little bit of what's going on, a little bit of what is real. You got to know where you want to go with this situation, but you got to be careful how you move forward. You got to move forward very slow, very diligently, and only in a way that the other person can handle. So they're like, definitely, you got the King of Wands. You have to move forward with action, but you got to move forward very carefully and keep your ideas carefully guarded. You know where you're heading. You know where this needs to go, but you got to slowly release it, slowly make it happen. This is going to release that resistance. You got to be careful about how you do it, because it's a very precarious card. Precarious? Not precarious. Just curious card to me. because it seems like there's a little bit of like knowing where you want to go, knowing what you need to do, but kind of keeping it to yourself to a degree so that your other partner can slowly start handling it. They just don't seem to be handling it as well as you are. And I see as this keeps going forward, what actually helps them is to realize slowly but surely that there's nothing here left to save. Once they get to a point, they're going to realize that this is done. Once they realize it's truly done, I feel like they're stepping out of your way, and whatever you need to do, they're doing what they need to do to support that. They're very reluctant and very slow to accept it, but once they do, I feel them like stepping out of your way in the sense of like they're not giving you pushback, like this needs to happen, that needs to happen. Like, for example, you're like, well, we have to find somebody to do this, and they're like, all right, I'll find somebody. They don't like it, but they'll do it, if that makes sense. All right, now that's happened. Now we have to deal with the insurance. All right, I'll do that. They're not liking it, but they're doing it. Like, you just seem to have to give them direction. Like, this is what needs to happen. All right, I'll do it. I feel that energy there. Good? Done. All right, this one's good. For those of you this hits with, I just feel like this is already in process anyway. So I'm like, I feel like that's already there. That's a rough one. I think that was rough. All right, what do we have for single Aquarians? I'm feeling good times. That's different. Seeing how the first half was kind of rough for Aquarius. What about the second half? I'm seeing good times. I'm seeing like social fun. I'm seeing some social fun here. I am seeing social fun here, though. And you got the Six of Cups. This is another one where history plays a part. You can already see that. History definitely plays a part with this. In other words, not somebody new to your life. Like, you know this person. And you have realization popping out. Popping right out. Sovereignty popping out. I get the need. I feel like I should stop. Okay, so with the realization and the sovereignty popping out. Okay. Now, not somebody new to your life. Somebody, though, I feel like, and like I'm feeling like there's a history here, and you've had good times with this person. But I feel like what you might be worried about, maybe this is a friend zone situation, and you're like, I do like them. I would like to go farther. But it's almost like any type of romance is not. It's like the death card is here, but I feel like it's kind of got a dual meaning in your reading. Kind of like you don't think there's possibilities here. But also, there is something coming forward. In your thoughts, though, this is connecting with the past. Like, it's kind of like it bothers you because you're like, I think I'm just in the friend zone with this person. Or maybe you've put them in the friend zone and you're just like, I don't know if I can really take that out of there. I told them they were a friend and I think they got used to it. And now I've changed my mind. Either way, the death card at the bottom is one, saying you don't think there's possibilities. But also, I do feel like it's also ushering in the next phase, which is saying there is a possibility coming. Now, the history here is the Moon card. And this person thinks of you in a romantic sense, and they have for quite a while. They keep it to themselves. They don't really talk to other people about it, is what I'm getting. They don't think you really want that. Not at the moment, at least. Or at least not in the past. It didn't seem like you wanted that. But they do have feelings. They just keep them to themselves. The Moon card with the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like they're keeping it to themselves. But they have been, like, hoping, like, maybe one day. I'm getting that maybe one day. Maybe. But they've been holding these feelings there. Now, as we keep going forward, I'm getting the Nine of Cups with the Wheel of the Year, which this actually feels like the Wheel of Fortune this time. In most decks it is the Wheel of Fortune, and I do feel like in this situation it's the Wheel of Fortune. There's a moment. You're with this person, you're around this person, you're hanging out, you're having a good time, good energy between the two of you. The wheel turns in the sense of like, this person lets the cat out of the bag. One way or another, they make it flat out obvious to you that they would like to be with you. Comes in very quick. It could be like For example, you're at a party, you're both in the kitchen at the same time, just the two of you, and they just kind of smile and say something along the lines of, I wish we could be like them, or something like that. Something where it just makes it flat out obvious what they think, like they would like to be with you. And I just feel like when I'm seeing this Eight of Wands, it's like if it's something where you come together quickly, they like let the cat out of the bag, and then they bolt because they're like, uh-oh. Like they let you know how they feel, and they're like, oops, and then they just kind of go. Because the Wheel of Fortune with the Nine of Cups is like, it's a comfortable moment. There's an opportunity. It might not be just a private moment either. It might be in front of other people, just to be fair. It's a comfortable moment. They let the cat out of the bag. That's the wheel turning. And then they're like, whoops. And they just kind of go. And that's your Death card coming in. This is your opportunity. Comes in really quick. This is you realizing they feel the same way. And then Sovereignty comes in. Sovereignty is giving somebody shelter, in my opinion. Even if you don't know if you can really sustain that for too long, you know they need it now, so you're giving them some sovereignty. You're giving them a safe space to explain or express how they feel. That's kind of how that feels like. And I'm getting here the Empress with you. Empress. That's a very loving, nurturing card. They let that moment happen. It happens, it goes. And I feel you coming back towards them, kind of like, let's talk this out. How do you feel? What do you think? This is where things change. You offer them that moment of sovereignty. You realize how they feel. You're very giving, very nurturing. You're like, I'm not saying anything has to happen, but I didn't realize you felt that way, and I was flattered. And I feel like they're like, well, yeah, I have. I felt like this way for a long time. I know you don't. And I feel you kind of like stepping back like, well, don't assume I don't. Like, I can tell you how I feel. I'll tell you how I feel. And I just feel like this is where things change. This is where things change. Like, I'm getting this good feeling here. And I feel like there's a very positive energy between the two of you. Bonds of the past realized in the future. For whatever we're going with that. Four of Wands going into the Page of Pentacles. This is going to get stronger. There's already a bonds of the past realized in the future. Okay, that makes sense. There's already a bond. It's already there. The Four of Wands is saying there's already a bond between the two of you. And you're slowly getting more comfortable. You're slowly getting more used to expressing this to each other. Excuse me. I feel like this is going to be a winner. I feel like this is going to be a win-win situation. I just feel like you're both very careful and very cautious, and very sensitive about how this moves forward. You're taking it easy. I feel like as you move forward, you're keeping it private between the two of you as much as you can. And you're just making sure, like, are we really wanting to do this? Is this really going to match? Do we really both feel this way? You both seem to be a little bit like, does the other person really like me this much? Or are they just kind of, is this really happening? It's one of those, like, is this really happening feels? And you're just very gingerly, quietly stepping forward together. I do feel like this is going to be a good one. The bond is already there is what I'm getting. The bond is already there. And that's it. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.